You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. The Great Exposure. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I established, before anybody else, that Harry's wife is a narcissist. She isn't a sociopath or a psychopath, though some people think that she is, but she doesn't meet the criteria for that. But she very clearly meets the relevant criteria to be a narcissist. I've explained that as per my categorization, she's middle range. I haven't yet revealed whether she's A or B. I've also explained that she is a somatic narcissist, that she is governed by appearance, material items, the way that she looks, the way that other people look. I have, through a very comprehensive series, explained to you why she behaves as she does. More and more people get it. They start to understand that it is her narcissism that governs her decision-making. This isn't to say that she shouldn't be held culpable for her behaviours, but it's rather to explain that whilst you as a non-narcissist may be governed by your emotional empathy with regard to the decisions that you make, she is governed by her subconscious narcissism. It is an entity that is hardwired into the way that she behaves. It cannot be unpicked. It cannot be changed. It cannot be stripped out. It is as much of her as her lungs, her eyes, her skin. She functions through this narcissism, which drives her in a way to always, subconsciously, she has no awareness of this, to pursue the prime aims. She must control everybody that comes on her radar. When she meets them, when she speaks to them on the telephone, when she receives a text message from them, when she sees them across the street, and even if they just pop into her head. As soon as they pop up on that radar, her narcissism activates to ensure that she asserts some form of control, be it directly, indirectly, or through withdrawal. More often than not, she'll also seek fuel from those individuals. Their emotional response, as I explain in my excellent book, Fuel, that causes her to draw that, to give her the lifeblood. Almost like the emotional vampire that so many narcissists are accused of being. That fuel is what makes her tick. She also, because she is an empty vessel, as South Park picked up on from my work, she's empty on the inside. There is simply nothing there, which is why she's so boring, so beige, so talent-free. And therefore, she has to acquire character traits from other people for the purposes of making herself seem more interesting than she actually is, and to use those character traits to control, to draw fuel, to get residual benefits. And then, of course, the residual benefits that her narcissism seeks, chief of which is money. Those four things are what drive her. It isn't kindness, it isn't nastiness. Although those are manifestations of the pursuit of the prime aims, what drives her is her narcissism as it seeks from everybody that she interacts with one or more of those four items. This has meant that over the course of time, she has engaged in repeated behaviours which have left people shaking their heads, scratching their heads, issuing their condemnation of her. Some didn't get it originally, more and more do so. More and more people have called out her behaviours. And yet, notwithstanding so many things that she has done that have been caught by camera, that have been written about, that have been spoken about, there remains certain aspects of her life that remains in the shadows. Again and again, these rumours, these speculations, these observations come to the surface. And there are many of you that express your frustration as to why they have not been uncovered in any greater detail, why the mainstream media has not investigated and covered these matters. It leads you to suspect that there might be some form of blackmail taking place, that super injunctions have been obtained to ensure that these matters are not spoken of by mainstream media, that the internet has sought to be scrubbed of these matters as part of her entering the royal family. It also causes many of you to believe that there are files of evidence that demonstrate that she engaged in certain behaviours. Well, as part of my examination of Harry's wife, we're going to engage in what I would describe as the Great Exposure, an analysis of the things that she is said to have said and done from the past, and to look into them in greater detail from the perspective of the narcissist. We're going to look at the hazing incident, the suggestion that when she was at university, she glued somebody else's eye shut, but then that has been covered up. We're going to look at the relationship with Prince Andrew, the suggestion that there is more there than meets the eye, that there was a prior involvement between the two, a circumstance of two narcissists colliding. We're going to look at the question of the envy exhibited by Catherine, Princess of Wales, towards Harry's wife. We're also going to look at the issue of her making a pass at the King Charles III. There are many other aspects of her past that fall to be examined, but those are some of the chief matters that are going to be placed under my all-seeing eye for examination and as part of the great exposure of what Harry's wife is and how she behaves. The material that supports those allegations, and of course the likelihood of an individual who is a narcissist engaging in such behaviours, and also importantly, why these matters have not been roundly exposed yet. We'll look at why those matters have not come to the fore through mainstream media, and what is behind that, and also when such information is going to be exposed by investigative journalists and mainstream media, and of course the impact on Harry's wife. I create a prodigious amount of work. I am the ultra, and I'm dedicated to the creation of my legacy alongside all of the other things that I do. And therefore, as a consequence of this massive information that I create to educate you about narcissism and psychopathy, I have thousands of videos. Many of you complain about the fact that you don't get notifications from YouTube about forthcoming premieres, about live streams, and about many of my videos. To ensure that you do, make sure you subscribe to this channel, that you like each video, that you turn your notifications on, and moreover, ensure that you are available to watch the videos about the subjects that I've just mentioned, which will be with you in the course of Monday. A series of videos will be released addressing those topics, and this trailer is here to foreshadow that, to ensure that you don't miss them, since so many of you complain that you do miss certain of the videos. Make sure you're available. Make sure you check in on this channel, even if you don't receive the appropriate notifications, so that you are able to understand more about the hazing incident, the relationship with Prince Andrew, the supposed envy of the Catherine, Princess of Wales, the making of a pass at Charles, and other matters besides, as I, H.G. Tudor, engage in the Great Exposure.